New details about Prince Andrew's settlement have emerged this morning. Royal editor Russell Myers joins me. Very surprising, is this?
Yes.
Do tell.
Well, I mean, you're probably thankful of other events not being in the newspapers recently. However, we know that Prince Andrew had settled this huge multi-million-pound settlement with his sex abuse accuser, Virginia Giuffre. Now, it has emerged in the papers today that Prince Charles has apparently lent him some of the money. Now, my understanding that this settlement was up to £12 million. Some of that money going into a charitable fund for Virginia Giuffre. The Queen also getting involved, lending him money. Now, the reason they are probably getting involved, reading between the lines, is because if he did go to trial, could you imagine how cataclysmic that would be, not only for him, but the rest of the royal family? So, unwelcome headlines again. Maybe some people will be asking, why are the Queen and Prince Charles lending him the money to do this?
Is it their money?
Well, it's essentially their private money, but again, that's a conversation for another day, perhaps.
Isn't it? Yes,
yeah, because whether their own private funds are actually taxpayer-related funds. We have been told that no taxpayer money has been used. However, the fact that they're doing this in order to try and get rid of this situation begs more questions than it answers, I think. And, we're going to be asking more questions about this as well, because Ghislaine Maxwell is in court tomorrow in New York trying to seek a retrial for her case. So I don't think it's over from Prince Andrew by any stretch of the imagination at the moment.
No, it absolutely is not. If you thought that was it done and dusted, absolutely not. Now, talking about the Queen, though, she's leaving the office, it would seem. She's going to be working from home.
Yes, she is. Well, she's used to it. We've seen her on Zoom. Her Majesty is feeling better, I understand. Right. She's just recovered from her bout of COVID. She's been doing engagements virtually. However, a decision has been taken that she will no longer return to Buckingham Palace. Now, Buckingham Palace, she's been there for 7 decades. It's been a working palace, her home for all that time. But, of course, she's been at Windsor Castle for the entirety of the pandemic and working from there as well. And I think she probably just couldn't be bothered to move back there, to be honest.
I don't think they really like Buckingham Palace, do they?
Well, I think, when you've got a choice between Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace, it all gets a bit silly, doesn't it?
Yes, that's very true.
Great news for the Queen in terms of a bit of stability, because it's all been a bit topsy-turvy with her health. And you just wish her well, because she has been looking a little bit frail of late.
Tell me about this new biography of the Queen, though, that's been released. And it does, a lot of it, we understand, is that horrible year, as she called it, her annus horribilis.
Well, indeed. Back in 1992, it was this sort of cascade of bad news, Windsor Castle fire, her children relationships breaking up. Now, this is a new book by Robert Hardman, who is impeccably sourced a lot of the time.
He does know his stuff, actually.
He does indeed.
Yeah,
He's a fantastic book called Queen of the World, all about how the Queen's and relationship with the Commonwealth. Now, this is called Queen of Our Time, Elizabeth II, out later this year. Later this month, sorry. Lots of details about sort of how she reacted to Princess Diana's death. Details about, lots of people always said that it was Tony Blair who sort of forced the royal family
that's
into
the narrative, isn't it?
getting out into being seen to do the right thing by the public. Now, Robert Hardman says, no, it wasn't. It was the Queen who put the wheels in motion.
Really?
So plenty of interesting details
to
catch up on in that book.
And that fire as well, I mean, that really was a tough time.
Well, it was, I think. Again, it was, there were some details about whether the royal family would start paying taxes at this point. Previously, the Queen's family had signed a deal, essentially, with the government to say that they wouldn't do that, and it was the Queen who stepped forward and said, no, it's the right thing to do. We need to be seen to be doing the right thing. And I think, a lot of interesting parallels about what's going on now. The Queen stepping forward, trying to sort out the business with Harry and Meghan, trying to sort out the business with Prince Andrew as well. So, leading from the front.
You talked about Harry and Meghan. What is all this about Meghan getting sued by her sister?
And they're not
half-sister,
far out the headlines, are they? And they're not far from a courtroom, it would seem, recently. Now, Meghan may be facing off against her sister, Samantha Markle, who is no stranger to the press, and she has been making a lot of noise in the previous months and years. However, this relates to sort of Meghan's discussion with Oprah Winfrey, that big famous interview, and Samantha Markle says the depiction she gave of her lifestyle, this rags to riches episode that she'd had, was very, very unfair, and she's actually going to be suing Meghan in the courts in the United States for $75,000 over defamation, saying it was a premeditated campaign to destroy her and her father's reputation. Now, Meghan has just won a huge court case
indeed.
against the Mail on Sunday. So very expensive lawyers. I'm not too sure whether I would be locking horns with Meghan at this time.
And also, you know, for goodness sake, why would you do that? Unless, well, she obviously wants the money or she wants the attention. All you do at the end of the day is make lawyers rich.
I think probably both in this sense, to be honest.
That's just she should just go be. That's
I think so.
Half sister. She's had her moment.
Yeah, she has indeed.
She has. Just leave it. Just leave it. Now, the Queen has not seen Lilibet. We're talking about Meghan's... Oh, there's Kate. Yeah. Meghan's little baby, who's 9 months old. She must be really wanting to see that wee one. I
think so. You know, there's a lot being said because of, you know, the relationships, that breakdown of relationship, also still very fractured. Whether Harry and Meghan will come over for the Queen's Jubilee. Even before that, we've got Commonwealth Day later on in this month. And, of course, the Duke of Edinburgh's big memorial service on the 29th. So, listen, I think that at the moment things are still very fractured. No doubt the Queen will want to spend time with all her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And it's just a bit of a sad state of affairs that this is still
I know.
ongoing.
And don't you think with everything that's going on in the world, I know there's been a lot of things said on both sides. This is a really good opportunity. And especially a baby can...
A baby can heal things.
A wee tiny baby comes over.
There is a lot more important things going on in the world rather than family feuds.
Then it becomes, the squabbling becomes like, please don't.
Absolutely.
Just everybody, come together. Kate.
Yes.
The Duchess of Cambridge.
Yes. This is extraordinary.
Tell me about this.
Well, I kid you not. Sorry
see what you've done there.
Sorry. However, Kate revealed last week that she is a descendant of some very famous goat breeders. I don't know how you become a famous goat breeder.
I've no idea. I've no idea.
She's traced back her ancestry, and in the latest round of reports we've had at the weekend, some sleuths from the Sunday newspapers have found out that she was indeed descended from very famous goat breeders who had a very nice Georgian mansion in Roundhay in North Leeds. So, you know, she's just like us. She is,
because she was talking to some goats last week, as you do. They've got a very interesting life when you think about it. Russell, thank you for that romp through everything that's going on in the royal family. Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.